Hey everybody, Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard here. So, I like to let you guys know a little bit about myself so you know where I'm coming from when I'm doing movie reviews. But I already did my top 10 favorite movies of all time. You see it right here? Click on the button. But, I was thinking, what else can I let you guys know about me? And it kind of clicked that we all have that movie that conventional wisdom tells you you shouldn't like this movie. You don't like this movie. But you kind of like that movie. And I'm pretty proud of the stupid stuff I enjoy and that I like. So I'm going to give you my top 10 movies that I like that everyone else seems to hate. Ba-ba! So, a couple rules or guidelines about this. First off, these aren't movies like I absolutely love and adore. Some of them I just kind of enjoy. These aren't the greatest movies, but I just enjoy them. The barometer for this are a lot of movies that I've had to twist people's arms to watch, or, people mention in a bad review that they kind of compare another bad movie to. Or to just be straight honest, if the Nostalgia Critic did an episode on it, it probably made it on this list. Some of these may not be as hated as I thought they were, but, I'm going to throw it out there. So, let's get into it.
Number 10, The Cable Guy.
So this one's pretty low because I feel like it's getting a lot more recognition these days. But when it first came out, it was definitely panned a lot, and a lot of people really hated this movie. But I've just really always enjoyed it. I like the dark comedy. I like how it's kind of being a parody of what I call the crazy white woman movies that we had going on in the 90s, like like your Crush or your Single White Female. Or, the movies like that where a woman goes off the rails because of some sort of obsession. And it's kind of like a little bit of a parody of that. As well as, we kind of all know that guy who spends a lot of time alone watching TV and is very socially awkward because he doesn't interact with other people. Hey! But I just kind of enjoy that idea of like that one guy kind of going off the rails one day. And I find it really funny, and to be honest, sometimes I sing the little theme to myself too. Dun 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 dun. So yeah, The Cable Guy. It's not so bad.
Number 9, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Again, this is one I don't think maybe gets as much hate as I think it does, but I feel like I do have to twist a lot of people's arms to watch this movie. Everyone was really against doing a reboot of it, and for some reason everyone thinks the Sam Raimi movies are perfect. But to be straight honest, I actually think this is the best Spider-Man movie we've gotten so far. Better than all three of the Raimi movies. Sure, it does have its problems, but so do all the Raimi movies, so it's just one of the, half a dozen of one, 6 of the other. But I like Andrew Garfield. I love Emma Stone. I just think this one's put together a lot better. The characters are a lot more relatable. And it's just a lot more interesting to me. And I connect with this one a lot more than I do with Tobey Maguire. I just like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man just way more than Tobey Maguire's. And it was overall enjoyable. I liked this movie. So, there you go.
Number 8, Biodome.
So this one I think gets a lot more hate because when this came out, it became cool to hate Pauly Shore. And so, this began the demise of him. And maybe he is annoying to some people, but I still think he was kind of funny. And this has almost got that Beavis and Butthead feel to it, where it's your 90s slacker stupid kids that people are trying to understand, but they can't because they're dumb slackers. And it's kind of funny. Yeah, it's real goofy, and it's got, the sappy ending and things like that, and everyone learns a lesson, but I had some fun when they were causing trouble under that bubble. What can I say? It's just a fun movie and I enjoy it.
Number 7, Tank Girl.
So another fun movie, and this one may not get as much hate as I think it does, but the Nostalgia Critic did do an episode on it, and Rip did a new one. But I mean, it did make a list as number 1 of the least worst comic book movies with female protagonists. That's a thing, right? But I actually really enjoy it. I feel like it's a pretty decent representation of Tank Girl because that comic is insane. And I love adding the comic book animations into it. And I think the Reavers actually kind of look pretty awesome. It's just kind of a fun, goofy little movie that you just don't take too seriously and just kind of enjoy it. You know, it's got a freaking musical number in the middle. You're not supposed to take it seriously. But yeah, I just enjoy this movie. It's real fun. So what can I say?
Number 6, A Nightmare on Elm Street, 2010.
So I've gotten a little bit of flack ever since I did my worst to best Nightmare on Elm Street video and put this one, I think, at like number 4. It was pretty high up there. A lot of people, wrote this off because this is a remake, but I actually really enjoy this movie, and I might consider it one of the best remakes of all time outside of Cape Fear. But it's just very creepy, very dark. They kind of made it realistic, but also keeping the supernatural part to it, and I felt it was a good balance with that. I love Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy Krueger. He's incredibly creepy. And he looks creepier in real life, as just Freddy before he's all burned than Robert Englund ever does. Robert Englund looks like a cool dude. Jackie Earle Haley looks creepy. He's a creepy guy, so I'd assume this would be a creepy child killer, right? It's great casting. But I just really like this movie. I felt it balanced a lot of things really well, and it's just really good. If you haven't given it a shot because it's a remake, just give it, a quick watch. Give it a shot. What's gonna hurt? Watch it once. Come on.
Number 5, Fantastic Four.
So ever since last year's Fan 4 Stick, this one's actually gotten a little bit more love. But I've always enjoyed this movie. But I think some people, it was kind of like they ate a McDonald's cheeseburger and oh, that wasn't a very good cheeseburger. And then they ate a dog turd and they're like, that cheeseburger wasn't so bad. So, so some people are coming back to it, I guess, which is great. But I've always loved it. The Doctor Doom sucked, but it's a fun little romp. It's funny, it's bright, it's colorful. It's just a fun idea of a comic book movie without getting so serious and dour. These guys are just, hanging out, learning their powers. Come on. The other casting outside Doctor Doom is fantastic, and it's just a fun movie. I'm just going to say that a lot, but a lot of these are just really fun, and I can enjoy them, and this is right along with that. It's just fun. Just fun.
Number 4, Alice in Wonderland.
So like I said in the beginning, a lot of these movies are where conventional wisdom tells you shouldn't like this movie. I don't know why, but I like Alice in Wonderland. I like Anne Hathaway a lot, so maybe that was a bonus for it. But I like a strong female protagonist, what this one has. I like the idea that it's a sequel to the original. And I don't know, it's just something about it I really like. I like the design of the world. And I just kind of enjoy it, and it's really hard to explain why. I probably shouldn't like it, but I do. And I watch it, at least a couple times a year and enjoy it each time. It's a good... I don't know why I like it. I'm sorry. This is one I have a hard time explaining why I like it. But I do. Sorry. It's just what it is. It is what it is.
Number 3, Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Okay, calm down. Put down your pitchforks and let me explain something. this isn't a good horror movie. This isn't a good remake. This isn't even a good slasher movie. I don't look at this as any of those. And I don't want to be that whole, oh, you didn't get it. That's why you didn't like it. But that's never an excuse. If you don't like a movie, you don't like it. If you get what they were going for or not, your likability shouldn't matter on that. But here's what I see when I watch Halloween. So to me, art is a way of showing somebody the way you see the world, either through a song, through a painting, through a movie, through video games. It's showing someone else how you see the world. So I see Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween, as almost an art installation. This is what Rob Zombie saw when he saw John Carpenter's Halloween. It seems like he has a very dark and kind of bitter view of the world and just thinks everyone is terrible. And that's kind of like he just showed us his Halloween through his eyes, how he sees the world. And he does that in a lot of his movies. Everyone is just an awful person in his movies. And so he kind of took that idea and just glossed Halloween around it. It's just more of an art installation. It's looking into Rob Zombie's psyche, and I think it is supposed to be disturbing and uncomfortable. And it's done even more in the second one, to be honest. I really see that one more as an art project. But yeah, it's not, I don't think it's supposed to be, I don't know, to me it's not supposed to be really a remake. It's Rob Zombie's idea of Halloween. It's something different, to be honest. It's, again, kind of hard to explain, and I understand if you don't like it, but I don't know, it's an art house film to me. It's just art. Again, really hard to explain, but I look at it differently than just a slasher movie or a remake. It's just how I see it, I guess.
Number 2, G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra and Retaliation.
So yeah, I really should hate these, especially because Channing Tatum is in both of them. Hashtag stop the Tatum. And he's awful in these too. I'm not saying oh, these are the ones he's good in. No, he's terrible in these too. I like them. I'm sorry. To be honest, I really think they are a good representation of the cartoon of G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe was always, Cobra came up with some stupid way to take over the world, and G.I. Joe would get into a big battle with them. That was basically your cartoon. It's a good representation of that. I'm sorry. Both of them do that very well. It's got some great action scenes in them. They're big, dumb action movies, and I just kind of enjoy them for that route. I don't know if people have their nostalgia goggles on, because everyone's like, this ruined the cartoon. Have you seen the cartoons? They're insane! And so are these movies, so it's a great adaptation of that. I really want them to make a third one if they ever do, and they're just big, dumb action movies, and, I love them. I'm sorry, they're good movies to me. And yes, Channing is awful in them. Just so awful.
We got Panthers front and back. Rhinos carrying the package in the middle. Minimum distance at all times. Apaches are covering us from overhead. Detail, attention! Ball out, boys.
But I like them. So my number one pick, if it has a Facebook-like page, which I don't even know if it does, probably maybe goes to the double digits. Nobody likes this movie. Let's go.
Number 1, Sucker Punch.
So first thing, let me get this straight. I'm not saying I love this movie. It's at the top of the list because nobody likes this movie. I've never met somebody else that liked this movie. I like this movie. It's definitely a style over substance style movie, and maybe I've always seen it like that, so I've always enjoyed it like that. It's not a good story, but it's got great visuals. I love each of the worlds that they dive into, and let's face it, Emily Browning looks gorgeous in this movie, and she's supposed to. That's kind of the point. But maybe I have a soft spot for platinum blondes, but she looks gorgeous in this, and that probably helps a lot. Face facts. But no, I love each world they go into. They're very interesting looking, and each could be almost their own movie. And maybe that's what people wanted more, is just to have those worlds be their own movies. But, you know, I kind of like jumping between them and getting to see a lot of creative stuff done. And it's a lot of cool things going on. Yeah, the story's kind of crap. And, you know, going the third level in seemed kind of stupid. But, I don't know, it's very creative, if anything. You can at least admit that. You have not seen anything like this. But I really enjoy this movie. I watch it a couple times a year. It's fun, and it's just great visuals, and I ultimately enjoy it. So, what can you do? So there are my movies that I like that everyone else seems to hate. So feel free to tell me why I should hate them in the comments below. Or, to be more constructive, let me know a movie that you like that everyone else seems to hate. You know what? Just enjoy your goofy movies, right? You know, embrace liking something stupid. It doesn't make you wrong. You know, it shouldn't make you feel bad that you like a movie that everyone else hates. Just enjoy it, right? We're all here. We're all human. Just enjoy your movies. So, with that being said, I'm Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard. And until next time, hold on to your hold slots.